Folks, let me tell you what almost happened, which would have caused prices in this neighborhood to drop overnight. I'll explain that, and then the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending November 27th, 2024. I receive a phone call. Older lady calls me, wants to sell her home. I meet with her. This lady, senior citizen lady, has all her wits about her. She's very sharp. She was definitely in charge and had the attitude of everything is a matter of fact. She wasn't negative or rude, but also not happy and joyful. She was very clear, very direct, which I had no problem with. She was in charge. She was making the decisions, but she had her 4 children with her also, listening to me. We were all talking together, but the final decision for everything, when we go on the market, the list price, eventually what the home actually sells for, the offer sheets, everything was her decision. And all the kids were on board with that, and so was I, and naturally it's her home. So we put the house out on the market. Within a couple of weeks, we received 1 offer, and then an hour after that, we receive a second offer. So I've got 2 offers to present to the seller, and I let her know, and we arranged a time that evening to be at her house for me to present her these 2 offers. But she was also going to have, again, her 4 children with her there. And so we're all there. And I review the first offer. It's from a numbered company, and they have their price there. And it was pretty close to the list price. Then I review the second offer. Now, the second offer is from a family. The second offer, they had actually met the seller, where when they showed up for the showing, she was on the way out. So they met in the driveway, they exchanged a few words. And so once I said who they were, the reason I knew who they were is because their agent, the buyer's agent, had told me that they actually met her. And with the offer, they wanted to submit a letter. Now, when it comes to these letters, I'm pretty neutral about these letters, meaning I'm not so into these letters. And maybe it's just my experience of dealing with them, but I'm not the emotional realtor. I'm not the one that has those feelings when it comes to buying and selling. So when I'm presenting this offer, I say, oh, by the way, I've been told that you met them. And the lady said, oh yeah, I remember. And this is one of the first times I actually saw her smile. She remembers meeting him. So I guess it was a pleasant conversation they had in the driveway. And I'm reading the letter, and there's pictures also of the family there. And I hand it over, and she's really enjoying this letter. The price, though, of the one with the letter was $100,000 less than the numbered company, the first offer. In my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, just, get on with the letter. Let's figure out what we're going to do with the offer that's $100,000 more. And she read the letter, read it again, handed it to her kids. I go, so what do you want to do? And she starts talking about the one with the letter. I'm surprised. Her kids are a little bit freaked out about this. Mom, what are you talking about? She's more excited about that one than the other offer that's $100,000 more. And she's asking me questions about that offer, and it's $100,000 less. Now, I should also say that this was not an inexpensive home. It was, it was a much more on the upscale, more of a luxury home. And the kids all had their own homes. So if we're thinking about the money was not that important to the lady. She wanted a fair price for her home, naturally. But it wasn't about, I need the money for retirement and I need this, I need every penny. That 100,000, I know for a lot of people that's a ton of money, but for this family, it wasn't that material to them. So she wants to move forward with the one that's 100,000 less. She didn't even want me to negotiate it. I said, well, maybe I can get them closer to the other number. She said, no, just give them, I'm happy accepting that offer. The kids were freaking out. Mom, no, they're saying, Santo, talk to her. Like, what do I say? I don't know what this, I mean, to me, it's just logical. Go with the more expensive one or the higher offer. It's just logical. I could even negotiate that a bit more. But no, she wanted to go with that. In the end, with all the, I'll say screaming and yelling, but there was a bit of emotions now going on. In the end, the kids convinced her to go with the more expensive offer, and we negotiated that one a little bit more. But man, it was close. And only the people in that room, myself, the seller, and her kids, know how close it was for her to actually accept the lower offer because of that letter. I've been involved, whether I represent the seller or the buyer, in situations where a letter gets submitted explaining the buyer's situation, how much they love the home, the neighborhood, their kids growing up in that neighborhood. Look, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You decide if that's the route you want to go with. You decide from the buyer side. You decide from the seller side if you're going to be swayed because of a letter to take a less offer for your home. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I can tell you, getting back to the title of this video, if she would have taken that $100,000 less, there were other properties for sale in that neighborhood. Everybody would have been upset. Prices in that neighborhood would have dropped overnight because of that letter. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. There's a link up here to my calendar, another one below this video in the description. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Let's get into the numbers. Folks, York Region detached properties. We're going to be focused on Richmond Hill, Vaughan, Markham. This is average sold prices for 3 months. Fall market is this way. What's changed? I mean, we used to be here. We're now kind of all over the place. Let's look at it on an individual basis. We're going to start off with Vaughan detached properties for week ending November 27th. 29 detached properties were sold. 5 of those were at $2 million or more. What do these numbers mean? Well, usually, typical history will show that sales tend to go up over the fall market, and at some point they turn and they start to come down, headed towards the end of the year. We're not really seeing that here in Vaughan, are we? 29 sales kind of seems to be an average on a weekly basis since the beginning of October. So sales are, let's just say they're kind of flat right now. They're not really going up or down. Average sold price does look like it's trending up. We're now at, although it's down from the previous week, overall I'm saying sales look like they're trending up, or average sold price is trending up. We're at $1,668,000. 1,668 is 4% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 7% lower. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. And if we look at middle of October to where we are now, November 27th, looks like average and median price have been trending up. But the week we're in now, prices did come down. So obviously, we're going to keep watching every single week, but they were going up. Not sure if they're going to stay that way. 29 were sold, 21% sold at list price or more. Listings have been trending down. Active listings have been trending down. There's still lots to choose from. There's just fewer, that's all. Months of inventory kind of looks like it's trending down. We're sitting at 3.4 months of inventory now. We were at 5. This is from the middle of October, folks. 5.1, 4.3, 3.8. We had 1 week, we jumped to 4.2, but we're back down to 3.4. That's why I say overall, looks like it's trending down. That was Vaughan. Richmond Hill, 18 detached properties were sold. 5 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price, it is down from the previous week, but overall, looks like prices are trending up for detached properties in Richmond Hill. Compared to last year, 1943 is 17% higher year over year. The median price is 16% higher. The dotted line, the 4-week moving average, also shows both average and median price trending upwards. 18 were sold. 22% of those sold at list price or more. That percentage of properties selling at list price or more is coming down. Listings trending down. Active listings trending down. Months of inventory up from the previous week. We're now at 4.7 months of inventory. Pretty much a balanced market. Here's Markham. 15 detached properties were sold. 1 of those was at $2 million or more. Sales coming down. Average price down from the previous couple of weeks. We're now at $1,559,000. For the fall market, 1,559 is one of the lower, not the lowest, but one of the lower weekly averages. Compared to last year, same time a year ago, we're 10% lower in average sold price. The median price is 5% lower. When we look at, say, from the middle of October to where we are now, it actually looks like average prices have been trending up and median prices, but slightly trending upwards. But then we have this week where we're down, and as we head in the next week, we'll take that into account. 15 were sold. The percentage of selling at list price or more looks like it's increasing. For this week, 73%, almost 3/4 sold at list price or more. Listings trending down. Active listings trending down. Months of inventory trending up. We're sitting at 5 months of inventory right now. There's so many opposing, contradictory numbers. For example, months of inventory, when months of inventory come down, prices tend to go up. That's a normal relationship between pricing and months of inventory. But we're not always seeing that. Sometimes we'll see months of inventory going up and prices going up, which is not the way it's supposed to work, but that's what we're reporting to you. Here's a quick summary. Vaughan, Richmond Hill, Markham, you are going to experience, in most cases, a balanced market, maybe even a buyer's market in some neighborhoods. It's very neighborhood, product specific, price specific. So, be careful out there. Who you hire matters. Really understand the market that you're looking to sell in or buy in. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.